Welcome to this channel, which is a class on research methods by Dr. Lydia Wabugu. This is a class where we discuss everything social science research, from understanding the research discipline, research philosophy, the elements of scientific research, and the methodologies of conducting research. Feel free to ask any question regarding today's lesson on the comment section. Welcome. Welcome to our class today, where we shall be discussing the validity of quantitative instruments. In our previous lesson, we have discussed measurement errors. We have discussed two types of measurement errors, and these are systematic errors and random errors. We have said that systematic error is an error that has a pattern to it, while random errors have no pattern to it. We have also said that when a measure is free of random and systematic errors, it is said to be valid. In this lesson, we are going to discuss validity of quantitative research instruments. These are instruments that are used in quantitative research, or the instruments that enable a researcher to collect numerical data. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to 1. Explain the meaning of validity, 2. State the 3 common types of validity applicable in social science research, 3. Explain the methods of determining content validity, and 4. Discuss the 2 types of content validity. Let's remind ourselves what we did in lesson 1. We asked ourselves, why do we conduct research? We conduct research to search for knowledge so that we can answer the research problem. And in our case, being social scientists, we are answering social science problems. How would we answer that problem? If we have collected data that is of quality, we therefore need to ensure that the data we collect to answer the research problem will give us beneficial results. In order to achieve beneficial results, the instruments that we use to measure the variables must have certain characteristics. The first characteristic is validity, and the other one is reliability. These 2 characteristics evaluate the quality of the research instruments. And don't forget, we are discussing quantitative instruments. That means that if the instruments are of good quality, then the data collected will also be of good quality, and we will therefore get beneficial results that will enable us to answer to the research problem. It is therefore the responsibility of the researcher to ensure that the measuring instruments, in this case quantitative instruments that are used in the study, will collect data that is both valid and reliable. Note that these 2 concepts are indispensable. That means we cannot test one and leave the other. And we shall first explain why we need to determine the 2. The 2 terms we have said are indispensable. They are closely related, but each of them plays a different role. For instance, a measuring instrument may be reliable, but it may not be valid. Therefore, reliability alone is not sufficient to determine the suitability of an instrument. So let us now move to discuss validity, and later on in our lessons, we shall discuss reliability. In lesson 20, we said that validity is the degree to which a measure, and when we say a measure, we are talking about an instrument, and in this case, quantitative instrument, is free of random and systematic error. We also said that validity refers to accuracy in measuring the intended construct. When we look at how authors or researchers define validity, we can look at validity as a test of whether a measure or an instrument measures the behavior or quality it is intended to measure. Validity also refers to the appropriateness, meaningfulness, and usefulness of the inferences a researcher makes. Therefore, validity asks the question, is the data collected appropriate for the intended use? In other words, does the instrument perform its function? Note that validity pertains to the results of an instrument and not the instrument. What does that mean? I will use a watch to demonstrate the meaning of validity and why validity pertains to the results and not the instrument itself. So I'm sure all of us, we use a watch or we have a clock in our homes. This is an instrument that is used to show us time. If you decide to put this watch behind or ahead by 1 hour based on the region you are in, it means that the information you will be getting out of this watch, and that information regards the time, will not be useful, because either you will be attending to your activities late or you will be attending to your activities early. When we look at this watch, this is a tool. So what is the usefulness of the information that we are getting out of this tool that is called a watch? That is why we are saying validity pertains to the results of an instrument and not the instrument itself, meaning this watch has no problem. It is the information it is giving you that has a problem because it is not useful. So when you construct an instrument, for instance, this is a question paper. When you construct a test or you construct a questionnaire, what you have put in this questionnaire, is it useful to your respondents? In terms of a test like the one I'm holding, is this test useful to the group it is intended to? That is why we are asking the question, does the instrument perform its function? Remember, as a researcher, you will have stated your research questions based on the variables of the study. You will also have drawn a conceptual framework that shows you how you measure the variable. Therefore, when we look at your instrument, be it a questionnaire or any other that you are using, is it useful to answer those research questions? So please note that when we talk about validity, it is the usefulness or the appropriateness of what we are getting out of our instrument. Just like we have given this example, this watch has no problem, but the information that we get, if it is not appropriate, then this tool is not useful, or the information is not useful. So we move on to look at the types of validity. In social science, we mainly determine 3 types of validity. The first one is content, the second one is construct, and the third one is criterion-related validity. Today in our lesson, we will concentrate on content validity. Now, content validity focuses on the content of the instrument. Therefore, content validity can be defined as the degree to which an instrument has sampled the subject matter of the research study. Content validity asks the question, has the instrument measured all the variables and their indicators? It reveals the extent to which each item, in other words, each question of research in the measuring instrument, serves the purpose. So again, what we are saying, if this is our instrument, has this instrument measured all the variables and their indicators as they were defined under operational definition of terms? So that is what content is all about, and that is why we have said content focuses on the content of the instrument. To determine content validity, a researcher must develop an operational definition of the relevant concept and determine the indicators of that concept. How do we determine content validity? There are two main methods of determining content validity. The first one is judgmental, and the second one is statistical. Under judgmental, this is where subject matter experts give their subjective, and please note the word subjective. It is because they give their subjective review or judgment on the level at which the instrument has sampled the subject matter, meaning that when you construct your instrument, you give it to subject matter experts in your discipline, and they will use their subjective review to determine whether the instrument has sampled the subject matter. So they will relate this questionnaire with their research questions or with their variables and indicators and give their judgment on whether this instrument has sampled the subject matter. Ideally, 3 experts are used. Why do we use 3? So that if 2 agree, then it means the instrument has content validity. If 2 disagree, then it means the instrument has no content validity. Under statistical methods, this is where we calculate content validity index. There are various formulae that are used, but the commonly used one is by Losch 1975. When you are using the statistical methods, more than 3 experts, to an extent of even using 40 experts, are used. But we need to see the coherence between the two. Both methods use subject matter experts. Therefore, as you select the subject matter experts, care must be taken to ensure that they are truly subject matter experts. The Losch formulae enable us to calculate CVR, which is content validity ratio, where N is the total number of experts evaluating items in the measuring instrument, and NE is the number of experts evaluating the relevant item as essential. So again, when we are using this formula, it means you will give your instrument to your subject experts, and they will be calculating the item in the measuring instrument as whether it is essential, useful and not essential, and 3, not essential. So according to Losch, each statement in the pool of items created or each statement in your questionnaire is presented to experts to obtain their opinions. The subject matter expert rate the items into one of the 3 categories. Is it essential, Is it useful but not essential? Or 3, it is not necessary. The items that are rated as essential are included in the final instrument. A level of agreement of 50% among the experts gives some assurance of content validity. CVR ranges between -1, showing perfect disagreement, and +1, showing perfect agreement. 0 indicates that over half of the expert agrees that the item is essential and should therefore be included in the final instrument. Let us look at the correct interpretation of CVR. If half of the experts express their opinion on the statement in the measuring instrument as essential, it means CVR is equals to 0. If more than half of the experts state essential, then it means the CVR value is greater than 0. And if less than half of the experts state essential, then it means CVR is less than 0. Note that if the CVR is less than 0 or it is negative, then the item or the question should be removed from the instrument because it means it is not essential. There are 2 types of content validity. The first one is face validity. The second one is sampling validity. What is face validity? This is a subjective measure of the extent to which an instrument measures what it appears to measure. Whereas sampling validity is the degree to which a measure, that means an instrument, adequately samples the subject matter of the research. And we said in this case the subject matter refers to variables of the study and their indicators. By looking at this questionnaire, in our case, let's look at it like a test. By looking at this test, does it appear to be a university test? When we go to sampling, using the same example, we will be asking ourselves, has this test sampled the course outline or the syllabus of this particular course unit? So when we bring it to the research, face validity means, does your questionnaire appear to measure what it is meant to measure? And then with sampling, we are asking, has it sampled all the variables of the study? How do you determine face validity? You can determine face validity by doing the following. 1, ensure that the purpose of each statement is appropriate for the measuring instrument. 2, the statements in the scale are clearly understood by the participants. All statements in the measuring instrument are readable. The instrument is well laid out. And lastly, the difficulty of each item is appropriate for the level of participants. Note that face validity is highly subjective and therefore it cannot be used on its own to determine validity. And with that, we have come to the end of today's lesson. Today we have discussed validity. We have said that validity refers to the usefulness or appropriateness of the inferences a researcher makes. We have also said that there are 3 types of validity. We have content, construct, and criterion. In this lesson, we have discussed content validity. We have said that content validity deals with the degree to which an instrument has sampled the subject matter of the research study. We have also discussed the 2 types of content validity, that is face and sampling validity. In our next lesson, we are going to discuss construct and criterion validity. Thank you for being part of this class today. I hope that this lesson was helpful. Feel free to comment, like and share this video with your friends. Please subscribe to this channel to attend more lessons like today's. So until the next lesson, where we shall discuss construct and criterion related validity of quantitative instruments. Bye for now.